Welcome back. We're back on the USS Crew Cabana project, and this isn't a crew cab. That's out behind the shop, but this is an important phase in the project. So let me catch you up to speed on what we've done, and then we're going to get into today's episode. Stick around. I'm Mike, and you're watching My Car Shop. Been hammering away at this project. That door that was on here was a power door. The bottom hinge was ripped right out of the door. And this is a manual door that used to be on Wanda that I banged back in shape because it had a bent lower hinge mount. And the door works pretty good on here, and it's got a manual window now. And the nice thing is the power door panel did fit and right over where the window regulator is, where a crank can go. And it doesn't look perfect, but it does look done, and that's all I care about. I have gotten everything working on this truck. I put the ECM out of my 92 TBI truck. Yes, they did make a TBI truck in 1992. I have one. The ECM out of that works on diesel. It wouldn't be the other way around. All it really needs it for is air conditioner, which it doesn't have everything here on this, speedometer, charging system. Seems like there's one more thing. There's a few things that this ECM won't handle, and that is the overdrive on the transmission. I don't think will work. I haven't driven it since I put it in for sure, but everything I read says it won't. But it handled all the functions, is my point. I got the fuel gauge working, the oil pressure gauge working, the temperature gauge working, all of that stuff. The speedometer is working. I did a lot of work in the dash to sort that out and get things functioning. Um, yeah, we've just done a lot of stuff to the truck. Oh yeah, we got all the lights working also, and that's actually what we're going to be on today. All the front lights are in, the grill's back on sort of, but I need to get this pigtail right here attached to this pigtail here that came out of my other 92 pickup. I went back there, crawled around, and chopped it off. And so we're going to get tail lights working today. So stick around for that. So one of the things that I need to do is look at this and make sure that the wire colors are all the same. And I can't imagine they wouldn't be, but you never really know about these things. I do need to strip that back a little bit more, but for now, I'm seeing, yeah, there's a gray one there. There's two grays here. That's interesting. I have to figure out what that's all about. I only see one in this harness. We have green, white and purple, white and blue, or white, red and purple. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, there's a couple of wires there that aren't here, but everything here is there. So I'm not sure what those other wires would be for. We'll figure that out. But I'm going to get hooked up what I've got. So I need to split this so I can pull these wires out. We'll start stripping and soldering everything and shrink sleeving it so it's a good permanent connection. You may ask why I'm working up here. I'm in a shade because it is hot. It's been in the high 90s and the humidity has been about 3,000%. It's been miserable. I've been working away at this thing regardless. But I'm doing it in the shade whenever I can, whenever possible, because it's just bloody hot. So that's probably there. I'm wondering if those are the wires for the rear axle speed sensor, rear wheel anti-lock, whatever thing. I don't know. It does have a brake light on. I don't know if it's because the brakes need work. We're going to be doing that soon. But something's going on with that. I'm going to pull this and see which way this goes here. Yep, that's those wires. Okay. So I'm going to set those aside for now. I'm not sure what that's for. We'll get that figured out here in just a moment. 6. Okay, now I got some latitude for my attitude. Okay, so whatever those wires are, they go to this. There is a red and a purple. I wonder if that was for, fuel cylinders over there. I don't know. I need to take my handy dandy little stripper tool here and just go through and strip all of our wires down, make them so they're solderable, It's going to take a while because I got to do all these and all those. So I won't bore you watching me strip. Okay, so I've gone through and stripped all the wires like this. And then I've gone through and put shrink sleeve on every wire so I don't forget. Kind of like flaring a brake line. You want to make sure you got the flare nut on before you flare the line. In this case, because I'm doing so many, I want to make sure the shrink sleeve is on before I solder the wires. So, now the next thing to do is to, some wires I don't know what they are, right? Like I've got a dark green one here. I'm guessing it probably correlates to a different wire, so I'm going to have to figure out what that is. But I have a green to green here, green with a black tracer, that matches this green with a black tracer. So we're going to trim them so they're the same length. Okay. Ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just got to be done. Okay. Those could enjoy being a little bit more sharp, but they're not. And then we're going to shove them together. Tell you what, when you can't see, life is fun. Then we twist them together like so. Okay. And then we'll take our soldering gun. And the two shall become one flesh or something like that. Get a little chutzpah here. Little flux on there. This heats up pretty quick. Thank you, Chris. This is the first time I've used it since you got this for me. Probably going to need to get my other glasses so I can see what I'm doing. The idea is you heat the wire up and then the solder will melt into and through the wire. If I could hold the dang thing still, it would make a huge difference. Between not being able to see and apparently having the shakes, should have it. The solder's probably a little bit fine for this. There we go. All joined together. I'm going to get my other glasses so I can see better. And I got to get a lighter to do the shrink tube because I don't have my heat gun here. It's at the office. So you can see that solder is melted right through, and then we can slide our shrink sleeve up, heater down, and we're done. One thing I wanted to mention while I'm thinking of it is you'll notice me in the time lapse, maybe I'm taking the end of my solder and I'm making a little clump of it. And the reason for that is because when you're using angel hair solder like I'm here, it's a little small for this. So if I make a blob of solder like that, it just gets me to get the job done faster because I've got a much bigger blob of solder. So that's a pro tip. Actually, it's a soldering tip or solder tip. I don't know. Okay, all done. I don't even have to finish it up. Got that little pigtail done there. All of my joints are here. A couple commentaries. Dodge is notorious for changing the tracer colors on their wires, so I had to do a little digging, but This green with red happens to turn into green with yellow. There's a black with yellow. No, that's not it. There's another one. Oh, brown with red turned into brown with yellow. That's Dodge is notorious for that. They keep the core color the same, but change the tracer. So difference between probably two different manufacturing plants is my guess, or whatever, two different runs. The other thing on this is the ground wires that run back to the taillights are black on this one. They're gray on the back harness. So black to gray is, I checked it to make sure that that's right, and it is. So just a couple tips there. If you're splicing harnesses together like this, don't be surprised if you find different color tracer. That's not abnormal for Mopar to do that. They ran out of one, and so they just switched to a red tracer instead of a yellow one or whatever. So anyway, now I guess bugs. I think the next thing to do is to do some testing. I'm gonna try to put all this back together in the harness somehow. Not in the harness, in the loom, I should say. Okay, there's that. And there's. I've seen some neat tricks for using something or another. I forget what, to put your wires in the loom. I don't remember what it was anymore, but this works. You just has to take your time. Maybe it works. Come on, get on in there. There we go. Stuff is like me. It's getting really old and brittle. So anyway, what do we need to do on this truck next? I got to finish this wiring, and then I need to get the brakes. There's a line that's smashed I need to replace, and then we need to sort out what else the brakes might need if there are issues and we don't have tissues. I think I'm going to get some black tape around that, and we'll be in like Flint. So let me get that done, and I'll be right back. Unless I'm not. You won't know the difference. A little pigtail here to test this. Make sure nothing's shorting. So let's see. I'm going to turn the flashers on first. We should have flasher there. Yep, we do. Okay. So that means our turn signal should work. Yep. Okay. And then our tail lights. Yep. I'm not sure we don't have a ground issue there. Let's see. Maybe not. Nope, we don't. We're good. For some reason, I was thinking the taller filament was the bright one and the short one was the dim one, but obviously not. So we're good. Just we got to check the other side. So let's unplug this here. Plug it into the passenger side harness. Make sure we don't have any wires touching. So this would be right turn. Perfect. Tail. Okay, we're good. We have our tail lights. I'm not worried about backup lights, but they're there. They would be, I think the purple wire would be the backup lights. I'm not going to bother testing it because I don't care about backup lights. So there we go on that. Progress. So let's just take our pigtail off. Obviously, I'm going to have to build a couple of harnesses, but I want to build the trailer wiring into it when I do it. So that'll be a separate project for a separate day. Also, our ABS. Got to think about that. Okay, yeah, this comes back through down the frame. I'm going to think about this just a second. Oh, I need to tape that. Oh, here, okay. Yeah, I didn't tape this up yet, so let me get that done. Beck found the tape for me. Where'd she put it? Right there. It's a huge roll. But if the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. Okay, there we go. So let's see. Let's try to tuck this back down in if we can. Boy, that's tight right there. I'm going to have to get a little to pry over on that tank because I can't get that through there. And crap, it's supposed to be under there as well. Dang it. All right, we can do that. All right, this is going to be a hot minute. Well, there we go. Lights are little lights. The wires are all run down in where they belong, zip tied in place. Good to go. Ah, that's a good job. I don't really care for the way this brake line is here. I'm not sure why that's there like that, but I guess it ain't hurting anything. It's just a long span of no support. But we'll see what we got when we get into the back brakes. That's not today. It's too bloody hot. I do need to, I've got a different pair of wheels I'm going to put on the front. I have 3 of these Mickey Thompson 17-inch rims and these Mastercraft tires. I looked to see if I could buy one more. They don't make this one. They stopped making it a couple years ago. So I think what I'm going to do is run some 16.5s on the front on just plain steel and put these on the back. And then I'll have one of these as a spare. And that's a 16.5 that'll make a good spare. So I'll probably just carry 2 spares. I don't know. We'll think about it more. But yeah. Whew, I don't know how long this video is. Probably not very long, but it's done. And we don't even have to finish it up now. So once I get the brakes sorted, get that brake line replaced that's smashed, which will be yet this weekend, I think we can put the box on. So my buddy Dave said he would come and help me do that. But I'm tired. It's hot. And I just want to go curl up in a ball somewhere and sleep. So yeah, I guess this would be the club cabana, not the crew cabana. I don't know. It's coming along. So hopefully we'll have this thing on the road before too long. I got to change a tie rod on the front. Beck turned the steering wheel for me the other day, and the outer tie rod on the driver's side is really bad. So I got that. I got to do the shocks. I got to soak those down with Croil while I'm thinking of it. Because I got new shocks for it. Matter of fact, let me open those up here on camera because I haven't even looked at them. They came, they're just sitting there. Again. There. Now, let's open our box. Another order from Rock Auto. Let's see, these are the I don't remember if those are the fronts or the rears. These are the rears. And those are the fronts. So let's open one up. See what she looks like in there. Okay, those are the fronts. That surprised me. Those are the rears. Yep, definitely. Okay, they look good. They're Gabriels, nothing fancy. I didn't want to put expensive stuff on it, but these are absolutely roached. They do nothing at all. So there we go. Those should do the job for us. So the other thing I need to do is finish assembling the dash. I'm not going to big rush on that yet, but the headlight switch needs to be put in place, and there's a panel, I believe. Yes, there's a panel back in the red 92 out behind the barn that I need to put on here. So I'll have to get that off. It's too bloody hot. So I'm done. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you learned a couple things on. Oh, I got one more wire to solder. I'm going to do that before I quit. I need to solder that ground wire up. I just put a wire nut on it. I got everything here. Let's get it done, so don't go away. There we go. I'm glad we got that done. Well, before I got everything put away, that would have sucked. So anyway, that's do it for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe. We get new merchandise coming soon. I keep saying that. I'm just struggling to figure out how to get a store online to get it done that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. So yeah, always something else to do. We have channel memberships for as little as $5 a month. You get access to all kinds of behind the scenes content and early pre-release on certain videos. So yeah, that'll do it. We'll catch you on the next one. And don't forget, it's important.